Hey there guys, it's your boy 12 Death, also known as Daniel here, and welcome back to another video. So today we're again going to be talking about TCGs. Here we go. What do you expect? You're coming onto this channel, we're going to talk about some TCG stuff. Today I'm actually going to be talking about the concept of mana in trading card games. So mana in trading card games is a weird concept for me in particular. So if you don't know what mana is, you'll see that sort of thing in terms of Shadowverse or Hearthstone, stuff like that. So what mana is each turn you get one more mana per se. And I guess this can apply to Magic the Gathering as well, where with lands. So each turn you get to place down a land, and then that's the amount of resources you have for use in that turn. So, for example, in Hearthstone you get one mana per turn. So on turn 1 you get 1, on turn 2 you get 2, on turn 3 you get 3. On turn 4 you get 4, and so on, until you reach 10. And with that mana, you use that mana to do certain actions, like summoning monsters, like activating spells, activating continuous effects, anything like that is used for the mana. And that doesn't happen in games like Yu-Gi-Oh, where your restrictions are based on the summoning limits. So you're only allowed one normal summon, or so on and so forth. But you don't have something dictating how much you can do. You have a ruling which states, hey, this is how many times you can summon in a turn. But you don't have a specific, timer to say, okay, you're only allowed to summon a monster of this. It's like if you had to wait 4 turns to summon a level 4 monster. Nobody likes that. No, nobody wants that. you know? But I do think that mana brings something very interesting to a TCG, because what it does is it controls the pace of the game. So it shows that so decks that have very, very low mana cost, which are decks that are based on cards that only use 1 mana or 2 mana or 3 mana, stuff like that. So that means when they get up to about 10 mana, they can do like 1,000,000 actions in a turn. That is really that's what like a mana cost is. So decks that have very low mana cost can play very aggressive from the start really early, and decks that have a high mana cost are better in the late game, because obviously you don't have the mana to summon those monsters until the end of the game. But what happens here is that the mana really does dictate the pace of a game. Unless you're playing a specific deck that allows you to do stuff really early, or a specific deck that allows you to do stuff really late when you have a lot more mana, the game is dictated by the turn number per se, because you're only allowed to sorry, it just completely lost my train of thought. You're only allowed to summon up to the cost of that many things as the turn timer, basically. So that means the game gets more and more and more snowbally as the game goes on. And that's really actually quite interesting, because it means if your opponent is playing quite a balanced deck and you're playing quite a balanced deck in terms of mana cost, that means the game is going to be very, very close. It means that there's going to be a good balance of monsters on the field, so none of their things are overpowering your things at the start of the game. It's going to mean that at the end of the game, you both have super powerful monsters out. It's going to mean, a hell ton of things, but I think the most interesting thing is that mana really does keep the game fair in terms of its game state, because it really does dictate that pace. You can't go into something super aggressive on turn one because you only have one mana to do it with, and one mana doesn't get you a lot. Whereas games like Yu-Gi-Oh, which don't have that mana cost, are the complete opposite. In Yu-Gi-Oh, although you only have that one normal summon, with that one normal summon you can create an unbreakable board nowadays, and it's very difficult to decide between the two things. Between the two things, between the two styles of play, because obviously Yu-Gi-Oh goes super quick, like it paces it like very, very quickly, unless you're playing a deck which stalls. It means you can get right into the action right from the start, and it means the games go by very quickly, and it means you don't have this sort of handcuff on you that tells you, oh, you can only do this now, but you can do things whenever you really want to in Yu-Gi-Oh, as long as you have the cards to do it. Whereas on the other side of things, you like that? Whereas on the other side of things, you're going to have that mana, which is really going to dictate that pace. It basically says that, oh, you're only allowed to do these things now, and you're only allowed to do these things now. And that's what keeps this game balanced and fair and allows this game to go the distance. So if you're looking for a more grindy type game with, I would say, better neutral play instead of more combo-based gameplay, I would pick stuff that has mana as its... I would pick a card game that has mana as its main sort of concept. But if you want something speedy, combo-based gameplay, you can win the game in a turn, go for something like Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm going to bring up this point again. Like, recently, I've been experiencing... Well, I haven't been experiencing, but I've not been enjoying Yu-Gi-Oh! As much this format as I have been in the past. Ever since Links came in, it seems like the combos were really strong. Actually, not even since Links came in, since Pendulums came in. It felt like combo game just soared from here to like there. And I haven't really been enjoying that style of play in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yes, I've still been playing it. Yes, I still enjoy the game. But that style of combo-based gameplay is just really annoying, where your opponent draws and you're like, and you see his card come out and you're like, well, I'm going to scoop now. There's no point in playing this out because he has that combo. So I'm just going to scoop. And that's just really annoying because it feels like you don't even get to play the game. But and that's what upsets me about new Yu-Gi-Oh! But with old Yu-Gi-Oh! You used to be able to put those combos in, but still have a really nice grindy game at such a nice pace. You used to both be able to trade turns back and forth without the game seeming too long. And you could still pull off your really good combo moves and create a good board, but that board wasn't unbreakable, you know? And that's why I really, really enjoyed old Yu-Gi-Oh! That passing of turns, that neutral game was just so good, and you still had that combo game at the same time. But then you look at the mana format, and that seems too grindy. It seems like games go on for an eternity, and nobody wants to be stuck playing one game for such a long time, you know. But then again, you don't want to be stuck in a game where you see your opponent play one specific card and you scoop. Scooping, for anyone who doesn't know, is you scoop up your cards and leave because you know you've lost. It's a very weird circumstance to be in, and it's a very difficult thing to decide how to play. But I'm going to bring it back to why not both? I said this in the last video, where I said this in the last video, why not both again, in the rotation format versus ban list video in my last one. Why not both? I don't want a super overly combo based game that anyone can win in a turn, but I also don't want a super grindy game that takes so long to play and I have shackles on my hands as to what I can and can't do. So I don't enjoy new Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it's too combo based, and I don't enjoy super mana based games. So what's the solution? Why not both? I feel like Pokemon, and I know that seems really weird, but I feel like Pokemon have done this so well. I feel like they've managed to create the influence of like a mana type of play in terms of the energies. So you're only allowed to attach one energy a turn unless an effect says otherwise, and you need those energies to pull off attacks. So that's your mana, effectively. But in terms of things, you can attach one mana a turn, but you're allowed 5 cards on your bench and 1 active Pokemon. So you may have 3 Pokemon set up with all the energies ready to go on your bench, and your active Pokemon is ready to go. And now you're just setting up your 2 other Pokemon on the bench. That means with those 3 Pokemon on the bench and your active Pokemon, you can pull off that combo-based gameplay with your with attacks that can activate from the bench, with Poke effects and Poke Bodies and all that stuff like that, all the cool stuff. So you can still pull off a range of combos without making the game snowbally, because you still have 2 other Pokemon on the bench that can't really do anything yet. So you're going to have to take some time to set them up. It's such a brilliant idea, because now you have the concept of here's combo-based gameplay, but you also need setup to do that combo-based gameplay. It means games are the perfect length, and games are neither super grindy nor super combo based. It's an idea of, oh, have I played this neutral well? And have I got my combos off before him? It's so good, and Pokemon have done that so well, and I feel like that's the solution. Genuinely, it's just so good. So good. Like, you don't have massive combos that create unbreakable boards, and you don't have super long, games where games go so long, and it's just like, this is perfect. I love it. I would love that style of play to be introduced to every single card game, because it's just perfect. It genuinely is. It's that perfect mix of combo and mana-based gameplay. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, subscribe and like. See you next time. Cheerio!